Let's get to our guest, Liz, please.
Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother, man? Shout!
Can you dig it?
Back up, you creep. Get away from me.
I'm just saying. What's going on, Chris?
You know what? Before we start, I'd like to send out my thoughts and prayers to the people in Texas and in Houston. As you know, I have a lot of family.
You do have a lot of family in Texas,
in Houston, and I've been in contact with them. I've got a cousin that's flooded out, and some other relatives that the water hasn't gotten to their places yet. So,
are they expecting it?
They are expecting it, but right now they're trying to just be prayerful and hope that the water recedes and they can still stay in their homes. But it's like 93, the flood of 93 here, but just in one weekend.
Right.
It took time for the flood of 93 to happen here, weeks and weeks of rain, but...
I guess, was it Nancy Pelosi who referred to one of the floods as being of biblical proportions? I don't think it's gotten that bad yet, but in parts of Houston, they're seeing water where they've never seen it before, I know. What do you think of the criticism, not from my point of view, but some of the criticism of the black mayor of Houston, who, number one, has said that it's his priority to protect the illegal immigrants during the flood, and he also defended his decision not to evacuate the city prior to this event?
My position is well known on illegal immigration. I feel there should be a wall built. I think that there should be mechanisms in place where they can't work and they're checked. But I think when you have a human tragedy like this, a biblical 500-year flood, that it doesn't matter if you're illegal, legal, green, brown, whatever, someone needs help and they're on top of a roof with water lapping up at them, then, I think they should be rescued. And then once everything kind of settles down, then promptly deport them.
Thank you. But I don't think they should be going around rounding people up in the middle of a flood. But his criticism came because apparently Border and Customs Enforcement continued to man the Border Patrol stations in parts of Texas. Yeah. Like that's a problem or something.
I don't think that's a problem. I mean, I watched before I came in here the press conference with the mayor, and he alluded to last night that they had problems with people looting.
Right.
There were people that were committing armed robberies, and the police had to chase them down and find them. So I think just because you have a natural disaster doesn't mean that you let down your forces and still let illegals come into the country or let bandits and thugs run rampant through the city and hurt people that have been through a devastating event. So
yeah, I would agree with that. That maybe they ought to just issue an order that looters will be shot on sight, and then maybe that would tamp it down a little bit.
Well, it was so funny because when I was watching the press conference, they had the police chief of Houston, and he kind of alluded to that in a roundabout sense. He said, "I want all these, thugs and these people that are lawless to know this is the state of Texas." And I was expecting him to say next, and we are carrying, we'll shoot you. But he said that will not be tolerated here. But when you said that this is the state of Texas, you kind of like, hey, you better kind of watch what you're doing.
They're coming for you.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
That's it. Right there.
Is that Liam Neeson?
It is.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Neeson.
That's right.
He's the lion in the whatchamacallit movies. Narnia movies. Did you know that? He's the lion's voice.
Oh, yeah. I'd never thought of that. I can hear that the minute you said
Becky
I just never
told me
really
that.
thought about that.
She's into that stuff.
Well, thank you, Becky, for that pearl of wisdom there. We appreciate that pearl of knowledge. I joked about this earlier before you came in here, and I had to play the clip about Hillary. But she's on a book tour. And the good news is you can still go.
How many of this is there
in
the last 2 years? Is this the third or fourth book? How many
I kept my cool, aided by a lifetime of dealing with difficult men trying to throw me off.
Buildings.
I did, however, grip the microphone extra hard.
Did you get that? Do you understand that? When I heard that, I just got symbols of grabbing the microphone, get away from you, creep. I grabbed it very hard. Do images come to your mind when you think of that?
Not images I can discuss on the radio.
Exactly. So I was just saying that's what came to mind when I thought of that.
I think what she was saying is that she was ready to use the microphone as a club if he came any closer.
And I also think she was sending out a code word that women probably understand. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Hillary. Grab that microphone extra hard.
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. But regardless, she's on a speaking tour. You can spend an evening with Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton, who has nothing better to do these days, and it's only going to cost you, depending on how much money you make, maybe a week's salary. So it's not bad.
Is she going to talk about the emails?
Well, I doubt it, but there are still, look here, November 1st, you can go to New York and see her, and all of the lower price tickets at $125 are sold out. You can still get in at the $750 level, and part of it is tax deductible because it's at the Stryker Center, whatever that is. It's a Jewish temple.
So what's the difference between the $750 ticket and the $100 ticket?
It's a VIP. I guess you get to sit up front or maybe meet her. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But here's the deal. I'm going to give you her schedule here just in case you're interested.
I am.
And if you go, I'll tell you one thing. If you go to Toronto to see her, apparently she doesn't like Canadians because she's charging them more. So I'm going to tell you that.
It's the exchange rate.
I mean, it must be. I just know. So she's kicking this off September 18th in Washington, and then she's going to Toronto, and I'll tell you the price on those tickets in a minute. She's heading down to Florida in October.
Liberal cities, I presume.
Yeah. Davis, California, Ann Arbor, Michigan. So she's hitting Milwaukee and Ann Arbor, and I'm certain she's going to Pennsylvania here at some point. All the states that she lost there that gave the election to Trump.
Democratic
Very
states
interesting.
Yeah.
She's going to Ann Arbor. She's going to Chicago. She's going to New York, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Georgia, Boston, Massachusetts. And just in case you're interested, so it looks like Chicago might be the closest place that's scheduled. However, if you go to her website and sign up and tell them where you want her to go, so we could go on there and tell her to go to hell, and I mean, I guess that might work in to our advantage.
You'll probably have a Secret Service agent calling you.
It says you can sign up and tell us where you want the tour to go.
Yeah, I'd be very careful with that.
So we could play the AC/DC tune, Highway to Hell, right?
Yeah.
And here's Hillary. So if you want to go see her, you can go to Toronto September 28th. So you got about a month. This gives you plenty of warning. Let's see. The VIP tickets there are sold out already. How about that? But you could have bought them for $687. The platinum ticket that includes front row seating, admission for two, a backstage meet and greet with a photo and a signed microphone that she gripped extra hard for $3,000.
Well, that's for the idle rich, the limousine liberals.
This woman got millions of dollars in advance to write this ridiculous made-up book, and now she's charging the sycophants who want to go listen to her drone on about the horrible campaign she ran. Even if you can get a ticket, the cheapest tickets are like anywhere from $80 to $125 just to get in to a seat to listen to the Queen speak.
I think Bill and Hillary are employing capitalistic practices here. I think that they know that the sun is rising on the Clinton dynasty.
Setting?
Setting.
Thank you.
Setting on
Don't
the Clinton
say rising.
dynasty. Setting on the Clinton dynasty. And I think they're going to try to milk this Hillary nostalgia for all it's worth. I tell you one thing, Mark.
Bill has been to the House of the Rising Sun, but it's the one on the wrong side of the tracks down in New Orleans. Can I just tell you that?
Next to the trailer park library. You know what? I think she's gearing up for another run. It just
why would she do a book tour specifically targeting those states that she lost?
And I think her strategy is that Trump is going to falter, and the American people are going to see what a terrible mistake they made, and that Hillary was robbed, and we should have elected her the first time in 2016. So now that we've got a chance to redeem ourselves, let's elect Hillary in 2020.
Here's why 2020 is going to be such a stinking disaster for the Democrats. Let me tell you, there are trains going 80 miles an hour, all headed to a to a crossroads where they're going to collide and blow up. So you've got Hillary, who I think is thinking about running again.
Definitely.
Because her ego just can't stand the fact that she lost to this man.
Back up, you creep. Get away from me.
And I think that Joe Biden is toying with the idea of running because he really thinks he should have been president of the United States. Terry McAuliffe is running already, even though he flat out denied it on TV the other day. Elizabeth Warren is running already, and you know that Bernie Sanders is running again. So they're going to occupy the far left of the party, the progressives. It's going to be a disaster, and nobody's going to be happy with the outcome.
Doesn't Terry McAuliffe, whenever you see him, and he's the youngest out of this group, everyone else is geriatric, but doesn't every time you see him, don't you feel like you want to take a shower?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's just
because he was just
slimy.
so part of the Clinton machine.
And that too, but just his whole demeanor, just the way he carries himself, just what he has been involved in the past. He's just what were the people of Virginia thinking?
I don't know, but let's play the one new clip we have from the Hillary Clinton book. Is that cut number 5, Liz? Hit it.
I couldn't get the job done, and I'll have to live with that for the rest of my life.
Where's the Henry laugh?
Was she medicating when she was when she was doing the audio for the book?
I don't know.
She was reading her book. How interesting can it be?
That's true.
I'd be reading it the same way.
Can I just tell you, when I studied broadcasting in college, they would have us work with speech pathologists, and reading scripts is an art. And if you have to be able to read a teleprompter and it sound like you're not reading, and part of the key is what you're reading has to be conversational. So first of all, her book is not conversational. But to hear her drone on like that, where it's so obvious she's reading every word, it is mind-numbing. Who could listen to that? I joked the other day they ought to ship this off to Guantanamo Bay as torture. It'd be better than waterboarding.
It's almost, I have this vision of her and Bill in the Hamptons, and she's laying in bed with pillows behind her with a microphone reciting this book. That's how relaxed and so boring she sounds.
Maybe. You're assuming she and Bill still sleep in the same bed. That's a big assumption. You know that, right? All right. Got to get to a break. That's Chris Arps. I'm Marc Cox. 3-1.